It's an amazing story when you think of it. The United States facing a recession, the likes of which none of us had ever seen in our lifetime, hearkening back to the Great Depression, the businesses that failed, the homes that were foreclosed on, and the jobs that were lost, and then an effort by the United States Congress to have a lesson learned and to make a difference in the way we regulate and manage the financial industry in this country. It was an ambitious undertaking and an amazing story that we passed this legislation. It's such an amazing story, they ought to make a movie out of it. Story. Two aspects of this bill which I'd like to focus on. She gave us a speech, and I don't know how many years ago, but Elizabeth Warren at the time was a law school professor who suggested the creation of a Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We sat down and worked on the bill together. The bill became a reality because Chris Dodd and the members of the Banking Committee decided to put it pen to paper and make it work. What it's done to protect consumers across America is unprecedented. There's never been an agency like it. And when you think of the specifics of what they've done, they're amazing. Richard Cordray, an incredible leader in that agency. Holly Petraeus, who has stepped up and found the abuses which have taken place when it comes to our military and speaks with authority about how we need to protect them through this agency. Efforts to try to stop the exploitation by for-profit schools. This agency has been a leader. Thank you, Elizabeth, for your inspiration. There was a time when I thought she would head up that agency and thought that would be just perfect, but it turns out there was something even more perfect, and that was having her as my colleague in the U.S. Senate. We're glad you're here and continue on to come up with these great ideas. The only other issue I'm going to mention to you has to do with this. It's a debit card. Most people are not aware of the fact that in the old days, when you use this debit card, there's a swipe fee that had to be paid. On average, it was 44 cents a transaction. That was the amount charged by the issuing banks, Visa and MasterCard, to retailers across America. No transaction, no negotiation, take it or leave it. You want to use one of their cards, you pay their swipe fee, 44 cents. When we asked the Federal Reserve, well, what did it really cost the issuing bank, Visa and MasterCard, for each transaction? 11 cents. 4 times as much were being charged in each transaction. Well, we ended up with a Washington-style compromise, which I think is too generous on the other side, but about 24 cents now is what's charged. What does it mean? Every year, according to Richard Shapiro, there have been $8.5 billion saved, not collected in swipe fees, and $6 billion passed on to consumers. That is a positive development of this Dodd-Frank bill, which continues to benefit retailers and consumers across America. Make no mistake, our folks on the other side of the aisle would like to see this whole effort, this agency, and all of these reforms we've discussed disappear overnight. We're here to fight them and make sure it never happens.